Hey everyone, I'm Mine, and this is set number 76948, T-Rex and Atrociraptor Dinosaur Breakout from the LEGO Jurassic World theme. This set contains 466 pieces and will retail for $79.99 in the US. This set does not come out until April 17th, 2022, but it was sent to me early by the LEGO group through the LEGO Ambassador Network. All opinions expressed in this video are my own. Before I get started, I'd just like to ask you guys to please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I've already posted some other early Jurassic World reviews, and there's more coming very soon, as well as some other really fun stuff down the line. So if you're interested in any of that, subscribe to the channel, it'll be right in your sub box as soon as it's posted, and it also really helps support me and the channel. But with all that being said, let's get on to the review. So here's the first build of this set, this truck right here, and before I get too much into the review, I do want to mention, it has been years since I last bought a Jurassic World set. The last one I bought was, I think, the very first wave back in 2015. So I apologize if I'm not pointing out that, oh, this is similar to another set, etc., because I haven't really kept up on the theme in years. But LEGO was kind enough to send these to me, so of course I was going to take a look at them, but I'm going to be reviewing them as if they're brand new. There's never been anything like them before, because I really don't have a point of reference with the previous sets. All that being said, I really like this truck. I was actually surprised how good this looked, because normally side-build vehicles are just like, whatever, you're buying this for the dinosaur, or at least that's how I've always seen them. But no, this is actually a really nice looking truck. I love the shaping of the front with the headlights and everything. I appreciate the little steps for a minifigure to get up into the truck, and the imaginary door handles, if they don't actually open. Because of course, if you actually want to get into the truck, you just take the top off right here, and there you can place a minifigure inside. Close it back up, and there you go, there's how a minifigure looks actually driving the truck. The truck has a total of 6 wheels, 3 on each side, and this entire container on the back right here can actually be taken right off. The truck looks a little goofy with it removed, which is actually pretty accurate to real life trucks, and you can see there are the taillights at the very back. Yeah, I mean, very simple building techniques on this thing. It's obviously not like Speed Champions level of detail, but for a truck in a Jurassic World set, I actually like it a lot. It's pretty good. Now, that thing that I removed is like a storage crate for the Atrociraptor. There's a sticker on the side that says caution, and at the very back it also says caution. There's a little keypad to get in. So you can imagine a minifigure comes up here, types in the key, opens up the door, and inside of there's this platform that can slide out completely, and there's nothing in there right now, but of course you can attach the Atrociraptor here. So if you want to load them up and transform, you can put him back in right there, close them up, and attach this back to the end of the truck. And then when you're ready to remove him again, just open it back up and slide him on out. We'll take a look at the Atrociraptor himself in a moment. Now let's move on to the other builds. The other build in this set is this terrain build, and this build stinks. This is a terrible build. This is the kind of thing I imagine Jurassic World builds being, and this is the reason I haven't bought Jurassic World sets in 7 years, because this is just nothing. The idea behind this is, you have like a little bit of a lab right here with some bones, some eggs, and some amber. Those are some cute accessories, but those could have been put anywhere, so they don't really like improve this build to me. Above that, you just have a triangular platform where I guess you could pose figures, but there's nothing there. And there's another platform, it's got a spider, which is kind of cute. There's a little flag, and not much else. And then to the side of that, this is a T-Rex cage, which in theory is supposed to put the T-Rex in to keep him captured. Now, I'm not a dinosaur expert, but I feel like keeping him in a cage this small, probably not the best idea. But luckily, the set designers had that idea too, so luckily he's able to break out of the cage. You just grab him, and you go like that. Yeah, so these walls right here are supposed to come off really easily, as well as the parts of the crate. So that one actually did come off, but the one in the front comes off really easily too, as well as the one on the other side. So that is a play feature, I suppose. However, I don't think it's a very good one. I think that's a pretty common thing for LEGO Jurassic World sets, to have little cages for the dinosaurs to break out of. But yeah, no, that doesn't do it for me, especially in an $80 set. I can't stand that. Especially because it makes the set impossible to transport. I know it's meant to be a playset for little kids, it's not for me to transport it, but yeah, I mean, maybe kids will find it fun, but to me, no interest in that at all. So this entire side build's pretty much just nothing to me. You have a few kind of cool accessories over here, but the rest of this didn't need to be here, and it just takes up too much space for how bare bones it is. Not a fan of this really at all. So now let's move on to the dinosaurs in this set. First we have the Atrociraptor. I believe the Atrociraptors are new for this wave, this entire mold is new. It's like a slightly smaller version of like the Raptor mold, and I think this guy is super cute and super funny. I love the orange on him, that's such a bright color, but I think it's fantastic. He's got a little mouth that opens up too. Unfortunately, his arms and legs are not posable, but I guess that makes sense in such a small scale. So there's really nothing else that moves on him. However, the upper orange part of his body is actually rubber, so his tail does have like a little bit of give to it. And the printing of the stripes and everything looks really good. Yeah, this is a goofy little guy. I think I much prefer the white and red one in the smaller set. However, I don't have that set yet, and this guy on his own, he's pretty good. So I'm a fan of the Atrociraptor. I think he's a good guy. And then we have the T-Rex, which I believe uses the same pieces previous T-Rexes have used in Jurassic World. New prints and colors and whatnot and everything, obviously. But this this is my first ever T-Rex, and I have to say, he is a lot bigger than I expected. This guy is massive. The legs connection to the body is like a pretty rigid connection, but you can move him down, move him up. The head out the front can also be moved up or down, as well as rotated side to side, and then the mouth, of course, can open. The tail of the back can be swiveled, but it can't, like, swing side to side or anything. So that's an okay bit of motion, but I feel like it's ultimately unnecessary. Still cool that it's there, though. Oh, and then, of course, I can't forget he has his tiny little arms, which actually have room to hold a bar right here. So if the T-Rex wants to hold a revolver, he can, I guess. The mouth of the T-Rex doesn't, like, perfectly fit a minifigure or anything, but you could definitely put one in there. So it's not, like, officially connected or anything, but he's definitely held in there a little bit. And then there's also 4 stubs on his back in case you want to ride the T-Rex instead. He, of course, has the stripe design going all the way from the top of his head down to his tail. And then everything is hard plastic except for the tip of his tail, which is more rubbery. Yeah, I like this guy overall. Maybe I'm just excited because he is my first T-Rex ever. But I think he's a lot of fun, and kids especially would really like him. But I think that's all for the dinosaurs, so now let's move on to the minifigures. So here are the first 2 minifigures in the set. We have Owen Grady and we have Claire Deering. These are, of course, the main characters of Jurassic World, and Owen Grady is really good. Compared to other variants of him, I don't think this one really has anything that new or special, but personally this is one of my first Jurassic World sets with him in years, so I haven't gotten, like, the updated face print and whatnot before, and I have to say, they capture Chris Pratt's likeness really, really well. The shirt printing's really nice, the skin tone on his torso is printed way too light, so it doesn't really match the skin tone of his face. That's always annoying to see, but LEGO does that so often now that, like, it's not even worth commenting on. In fact, almost every figure in this set has that issue, which is really disappointing to see. Regardless, though, that's just an issue with LEGO in general right now, so I can't really complain about it in this set specifically. Light print really good too, it's just sort of jeans with a belt and a little, like, leg attachment. Yeah, it looks nice, and I feel like this can be used in just sort of generic custom characters. I like this a lot. And then Claire looks good too, her expression is a little bit intense. I don't know if it fits her the best, but I think it's alright. Again, that's one she's had for a few years. And then the torso is pretty cool. Love the teal coloring, and the dark red on top of it looks really good. Again, another really useful torso for just, like, generic civilians. And then she just has plain blue legs. No leg printing, but I don't think she really needs it. Her hairpiece, too, is a little bit lame. It's just, like, one of the most generic hairpieces LEGO has ever made. They used it on so many figures, including another one in this set, and I wish they just changed it up a little. Here are both figures with the hairpieces removed, and there's back torso prints as well as alternate faces. Alternate face on Owen really great, captures his personality really well. And then on Claire, I think it's alright. It's a good face print, but it feels very cartoony, which doesn't really match with this. So yeah, I don't know if that one's the best. And then the back of the torso is pretty much just folds in their shirts. Here are the next 2 minifigures of the set. We have Rainn Delacourt and Soyona Santos. I apologize for pronouncing that wrong, I'm not sure how that's pronounced. But these 2 are both fantastic minifigures. Rainn, I feel like, is really good overall and doesn't have really any flaws. Hairpiece is really nice. It's a pretty common hairpiece, but I don't think we get it in reddish brown too often, so that's a pretty cool color to get it in. Face print is great. I would say it's really useful for customs, however, he does have a face tattoo of a snake, so that makes it a heck of a lot less useful for customs. Luckily, though, that doesn't overlap his beard or his eye at all, so if you really wanted to, you could probably rub off that part of the face. And it looks like he sort of has a Hawaiian shirt with a trench coat over top of it. That's a pretty cool look. And then Soyona is something very interesting. That hairpiece on her, I just said that's one of the most common LEGO female hairpieces of all time, right? Has come on so many minifigures, super overused. But somehow this is the first time it's ever come in this color. Previously, whenever they've made blonde women, they've always used bright yellow. But no, now they're using the actual blonde tan color, and it looks so much better than the bright yellow. I don't know why they stuck with bright yellow for so long. It didn't really fit at all. But yeah, that's fantastic. It's such an improvement over the bright yellow. Face print is reused. I forget from where, but it's a very common face print. And then the torso and legs I think are really good. I think that's another really nice outfit. There they both are with their hairpieces removed, and there's back torso prints as well as alternate faces. Rainn's alternate face is a lot more stern than the other side. Personally, I much prefer the other side, but this is a nice alternate expression to have. And then Soyona, again, reused head, so not much to say on that one. I really like both of these guys, though. Rainn especially is probably the highlight of the entire set. So, what are my overall thoughts of this set? This one is hard to say. I like the truck a lot, I like the dinosaurs a lot, and the minifigures are pretty darn good. However, that terrain build is just straight up bad. Like, I rarely call LEGO sets bad. Usually it's like, oh, they're not great, or it could be better. But no, that is just straight up a bad build. I have no desire to keep that thing together. So the question is, do the minifigures truck a dinosaur make up an $80 value? And you know what? I think I'd still say yes. It's hard to judge price when it comes to Jurassic World sets, because obviously the dinosaur is such a huge part of its high price. But considering how big the T-Rex is and how the truck is actually pretty decent, In terms of value for a Jurassic World set, I think this is one of the better ones. Do I think you need this set? No, absolutely not. But if you're a Jurassic World fan, I think this one's pretty good. At least from the ones I've gotten, I'm pretty happy with it. If you have the money and you don't mind paying the price of Jurassic World sets for a Jurassic World set, sure, why not? Because most of the set's pretty good, and there's one not so great part, but that doesn't really take away from the other parts that are really good. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think of this set in the comments below. As I said at the beginning of this video, make sure to like the video and subscribe. There will be more early Jurassic World reviews coming very, very soon, as well as some other very fun stuff down the line. So liking and subscribing will mean you'll see those videos as soon as they're posted, and also really help support me in the channel. But as for this one, I think that's about going to do it. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!